Good day, ladies and gentlemen. 100 pips jockey here. We're at it again. Alright, so full disclosure, I mean, I had to add $50 to my account. It is what it is, but kind of getting the hang of this a little bit. Again, based on the last video, well, let us talk about what we see is happening in the market. All right, as you can see, this is a 1 hour chart, and it's pretty much decorated with a lot of resistant lines. All right, but these are all the lines that the market has bounced on, and it has bounced in between, and it's going up, down. That's where it's at right now. Right? Generally, like to start from larger time frame, work your way back in. Right? The market pretty much went to a historic high, and it's a spot bull market. If you didn't know, right, if you are watching the following emails, weekly, so that it's still in a bearish, still showing bearish sentiment. Right? Look, daily, see that there's some retracement, but the market seems to be in a point of indecision. It's now more going across. Looks a little bit messy because of all the lines, but at this point I really can't avoid that. Can't take them off. Right? We go to the 4 hour chart. Right? So here the market is going across. So what I've realized, so I mean, initially when I started trading this thing, I mean, I'm actually facing a couple of new stuff, as in the market as I went live. So it is what it is. But you have to be careful when you're trading, if you're going to try to trade the market when it's going across like this, right? Because unless you have a lot of movement in terms of the candlesticks, like here or here, then it might be pretty difficult to, unless you really can predict what is happening, right? It might be difficult to know what's happening to trade. But pretty much all of these seem to be, well, at this time there were news candlesticks. Not necessarily all of them, but some of them are news, right? But the thing is to watch the market, wait for the breakout, and then you try to trade the breakout. That is a little bit on the tricky side, so on the trickier side. Nonetheless, we go to the 1 hour time frame. Last movement that we had here went bullish, and then it actually came right back. Right, so I realized the market is, here it just went up, went across here, went up, came right back. Right, so similar here, came down and then retraced up. So sometimes you think the movement is done, you really just have to pay attention and see what's happening. It's not the easiest of thing to predict what is happening, right? Because you will think that, listen, it's breaking, it's probably going to, but you just have to watch and see what's happening. All right. So since the market was going up, I'd expected it to go up and probably stay right here, start going across, but it didn't do that. It just touched point of resistance, came right down. But we know that tomorrow, in terms of news, we're gonna have I think it's a CPI, so you know that's definitely going to be a market mover, right? That's on Friday. Where is that? About 8:30. Right, the CPI index. 8:30. So definitely you will have some movement in the market. Right? You definitely will have some movement in the market. Now, trading news generally is volatile, right? You know, but even without the news, let me just look at what happened to me this week and today as well. I think it was this morning. What I've noticed is best to wake up at 3 o'clock. Sometimes you'll have some movement, gentle movements, 3 o'clock, and you'll have a good movement in the market, tradable movement, going right up to 10. Sometimes this thing will go right on to 1, 2 o'clock, as it did in this case, right? This time is saying it is, what is it? That was 22, and it's 4, 4, 5, 6. Well, I don't know, you calculate that. But yeah, I'm not sure what time I'm seeing right here. But yeah, you'll have, you know, it can turns out tradable, you know, it can ride down into the afternoon. General market closes at about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so right up until 2, literally, you know. So I was expecting a breakout. Right, so definitely I was looking for a breakout. Well, looking at the market here, it was going across, I was waiting on a breakout. And trust me, so my thing is, I'm saying, listen, based on my style, you try to go in early, not too early, but early enough. Hold so that you know, your risk to reward ratio is pretty good, meaning based on your stop loss and what you expect as profit is pretty good. And here I tried that twice, right? Let us look here, and I got stopped out twice. I did it, I got stopped out, and I was using, well, right here, see I have it at 0.05, but I was using at 0.1. And generally I use like a 300 or so pip stop or thereabout. But I think it even went to like 4 to 5. It just stopped me out. I tried, see here, entered twice, and the thing literally kicked me out. Right, so you know, it can be a little bit on the trickier side, right? So that is something you have to be careful of. So you know, what I am looking at currently is to, so I've lowered my lot size, and if anything, once the trade is going in my favor where I expect it to go, then I can increase the buy on the same trade. So that is the strategy I'm going to try to get in, because I mean, it's hitting you out, you can't get in. So the trade is actually going in your direction, but you know, when you see if I can have it a little bit clearer. You drill down, right? And you're just getting kicked out, right? So right here, these two, these are the wicks of the candlesticks, so I got kicked out. Right, so entered here, waited a little for the full confirmation at least this thing is going in my direction, right? Waited. Entered, set my stop loss, low, kicked me out. Right? So I'm saying, alright. So I know it's a big move. So alright, so let me go in this thing again. Went in this thing again right here. Set my stop loss, right? Green wick, it's long wick right here. Came, kicked me out again. Alright, so I know the movement is coming, but the entries, oh my. It is said that you literally should wait until you have a pullback before you enter. So generally I would go into the, say I go to the 1 minute time frame, right? And that is how I look to see this. That's how I look to enter the market. So we're going to 1 minute time frame. It's right here. I'm not even sure where it is. I'll go to 1 minute time frame and then I think I can recognize, and that is how I'll try to enter. And but boy, it's still getting kicked out. So I'm getting the direction correct, but I just think my stop loss is maybe a little bit too tight, and then so what I've done, I've cut the lot size so that I can give myself a little bit of space as it relates to the lot size, right? And so if I see the trade is going in my direction, then and I build up some equity in it, then I can increase the buy on the trade, and then can see how it goes here, because as I said, when you keep going, and you're trying to get 10 pips, 15 pips, 20 pips, 15, and you're risking you're doing 1-to-1 or it's less than 1-to-1 sometimes, because based on how the market is. So when it goes against you a couple of times, you get hit, it just can't work, right? It's not that strategy just can't work, right? So I have to try and get this where I'm entering, get my entry right, so that you set it, the risk reward 3 to 4 times. Right? It can't be 1-to-1 or less than 1. Right? Just not going to work. Right? So that's that situation. So as I said before, the trade came back. I was looking for it to peter out and probably go across, but took my eye off it, and it actually came right back down. So this shut up was just a precursor, initial move for it to retrace and came right back down to. So it was a larger movement than the movement. The bearish movement was larger than the initial bullish movement, right? Nonetheless, as we said, the so you see it's on the 0 line for the MACD, so it probably will continue like that right up until 8:30. You might have a movement. Sometimes it moves like 3 o'clock. Sometimes it moves based on the news. Right at that time, then you'll see the movement. So it's a little bit tricky. At times you can ignore wait for the news to finish, and once that's finished, and then the market has calmed down, then you can see where it's going, and sometimes it still moves, and then you can get your trading at that time. Right? But what I'm realizing is for any trade that you're doing, for example, when we look on this trade right here, you try to, this one right here, it's better you get in the trade as early as possible rather than you tackle it late, because when you tackle it late, then that's the time, you know, the probability for it moving is less, right? So this one here, let's say you went in early, and then so you'll be able to get some movement, and then, you know, I'm not sure what the market is doing, but at least you'll be able to get some movement. If not all, you'll get some of it. But you know, it can be done, and I've done it in my demo. But there, as I said, there's just a couple of stuff that you know, you have to go through right here, and you know, you just have to, when the market is going across like this, you just have to ignore that. Wait until you get the breakout, right? But the entry is a key critical thing, because as I said before, I waited and I waited, and yet still when I entered I got kicked out because of the stops, the candlesticks came back, 2 different points came back at me, and you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, because especially for this move, I was waiting until right here. I was looking right across here, even though I don't have a resistance line there. That so this line that I have. So once it went over it, then I'm saying, and then once it cleared this right here, so alright, fine, definitely do it. Let's go, because it's not a false move. Enter, got kicked out right here. Right? Waited again. Entered on this one. Market came back on me with the candlestick wick, kicked me out again, and so, you know, and so still have to fine tune that thing, so it can work, and I think it happened to me again. I think it's somewhere here, like I got kicked out, right? So, but it can work. So, one of the key thing when the market starts to move is preferably, you know, you wait until there's some retracement, then you enter. Right? So even though it's going up, wait until there's retracement, then you enter. Then the likelihood for it to come back again and stop you out is less, because you'd have wait for a little retracement in there, and then it starts going out. That's the time you enter. Right? So we're just going to try and smooth things out, because I think, as I said before, I'm trading too much, right? So my thing is not every little movement you're trying to get, that can't work for me, right? So it's when you know there's going to be a bigger move, so the market compresses, right? You know there's going to be a breakout either way. Wait for the confirmation, go inside there, hold a little bit, lock down your profits, right? And then you come out. But if you keep trading, you find out you lose a little here, you lose a little there, and it does add up, right? So nonetheless, let us wait and see what's happening come tomorrow. And we're almost in half of the month, right? But can still pull it out. Right? So we just have to get it right, and as I said, can't trade too much, right? And it can be done. Right? So other persons have done it, and I've done it before in the demo as well. You know, there are minor differences between the demo and the real thing. The only noticeable difference is that there's a little bit of lag when you're doing entering or exit, so the lag is noticeable. It's not as quick, but you know, it's still something you can work with, and you know, it's there. So it's just so when things are going your way, I mean, you know, you do, it's normal to get a little bit uptight, but you know, you just have to try and work the strategy, get the strategy right. Some corrections, minor corrections, and I mean, trust your gut as well. Sometimes certain things line up, but it just doesn't look good. Leave it until you can get a better setup, because you'll always have a good setup in the market at all times, right? So try and wait for the best setup and work your strategy, right? So with that, right? So peace out, and let us see what the market brings to us tomorrow. And trade well, stay calm, don't overtrade, right? And just try and relax a little bit. So what I'm saying to you is that I'm saying to myself, so please subscribe, definitely turn on that notification bell, and hey, let's see what's happening tomorrow. Just before I close, one of the things I'm a little bit interested in is derivatives. Been looking on that, but not sure what's happening. So I need to check with my broker to see if it's available on MQ4 or it's on the MQ5. I'm not sure, but that is something that I want to look at as well. Nonetheless, let us try and get this thing done, master this thing, and make some money, keep the money, and build. Right, so that is the key thing. Alright guys, so until the next vlog, peace out.